Alright, welcome to another edition of Sledshot.com. Just come to the realization that we're not going to make it home tonight. It's time to face the facts, dig ourselves a pit, find somewhere we can stay nice and warm for the evening, and wait till morning to try and get out. So here's some ideas of things to do if you are in this circumstance, and hopefully it will get you through the night. Okay, so some of the things to keep in mind if you are stuck out. Number one, you don't want to ever leave your machine or go too far away from it. It's your only way out if you once you wake up in the morning. Save some gas. Obviously, if you got gas left in your machine, you want to shut the machine off, save it for the next day of trying to get out if that's the last resort. So we're just going to try and find a decent spot to kind of set up a little base camp where we're going to stay. And yeah, see what happens here. First thing first, obviously it's dark out here, it's snowing. We need to get a headlamp out. We're only about 50 feet away from the sled. We found a nice little shelter notch here that we can dig a little area out. Pretty sheltered from any wind or anything like that, so during the night we'll be able to build a nice little shelter. So we'll start with that. In the pack, obviously shovel to start with. Shovel's out. We're just going to clear out a nice little area that we can tuck into. Sure. Okay, now that we got the gist of the little cave here built, next thing we're going to want to do is get the saw out. We have this shovel in particular has a saw built in. So we're going to go cut a few little branches that we can lay across, lay some more on top, some boughs on top of that to give us a bit of a ceiling, help keep the heat in and keep the snow off. So we gathered a bunch of boughs that are going to work good as a base insulation to keep us up off the snow, and as well using the trunks of the tree as supports for the roof. Chuck some more boughs on top, maybe try and put some snow on top of that, but to get our roof shelter, to get it fully enclosed. So start with some boughs on the bottom and then work up onto the roof. So basically what we've done right now is taken some of the boughs that we cut, laid them out on the floor of what's going to be the cave here. Basically what this does is just get you up off the cold snow, gives you a little bit of a thermal layer in between, and yeah, just keep some of your body heat up off the ground and make sure you don't sink any. Okay, so we had our two supports here from earlier, and we just set one kind of tree diagonally across, and now we're going to use the remaining boughs that we have just to cover it over here and give us a bit of a roof, some shelter from the snow for the night. So as you can see, not as good as being at home in your bedroom, but it's not a bad substitute. Good roof overhead, no snow getting in, nice and insulated from the snow. I'm sitting on it right now, not feeling the cold of the snow. So pretty comfy little cave, definitely gonna hold some heat. And as the night goes on, it's a lot better than sitting outside on your sled. So some of the things we discussed in prior articles of things to carry in your kit are headlamp. Obviously we used a ton tonight and it's pretty convenient having it. The saw in the shovel, or just a shovel and a saw in general, doesn't have to be in the shovel. A toque is a wicked piece of gear to have. And some of the things in the bag that I mentioned carrying before, hot packs are super nice if you got like some frostbite going on in your toes through the night or fingers. Or if not, it's good just to have. Chuck them in your armpits. It's pretty comfy, heats you up nice. As well, waterproof matches. I mean, I'm not going to sit in here all night and just sit by myself. It's not a bad idea. Start a fire if you have time or the weather permits, to step outside and have a little fire. Keeps you moving around, keeps you active, and keeps the circulation going. going to get some firewood. And other than that, a solar blanket, which are the little space blankets you see in a lot of first aid kits that you always wonder what the heck they're for. They really do work, and it's awesome in a little cave like this to sit, wrap yourself in it, and it's a good way to keep your body heat in. So this is the space blanket we chatted about. Pretty similar to a tinfoil type material. They're definitely pretty much a head to toe. And I just put it on, so I can't really tell the effects right now, but they do work really well. So that's it. Lights out, boys! Alright. Snowed a little bit last night, but had the roof overhead. Kept us from getting too snowy. Pretty cold, obviously. Not exactly most fun situation to be in. But building a cabin, building a little fort like this is really keeps you tucked away from the elements, and as well gives you something to focus on. Last night, obviously, once the sun went down, it was starting to get pretty cold, and just giving me something to focus on for a while. Building the fort, you know, it took me a few hours, really, all in all, to get everything together, and yeah, so stayed warm for the most part, and see what kind of day it is. Woo! It's a lot nicer out here today. So one of the good things is we didn't panic last night. Shut the sled off. Used the headlamp for light instead of using the headlights for light. Saved a lot of fuel. And just being able to see the mountains now, I have a pretty good concept of where we are and how to get out of here. So having gas in the sled to get out of here is pretty key. We mentioned in some of the other articles how important it is to carry a radio, or at least somebody in the group to carry a radio. And obviously in this situation, I know where I am, but if you were lost still and you wake up in the morning, try and get your radio calls out. There's a lot better chance that somebody's going to catch the radio, the frequency that you're on during the day. So yeah, just some helpful hints. I hope that shed some light on the topic of staying out overnight. It's never going to be fun, it's never going to be easy, but having a few things to keep in mind if you are put in that situation, hopefully it'll get you through the night. Just like to thank our sponsors, Tourism Golden, as well as Marathon Sled Decks, for helping make this segment possible. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of Sledshot.com. We'll see you on the snow.